Right. Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Okay. I can just barely hear myself. Is that working? Yeah, kind of sorry, but there's a whole lot of background noise. Yeah, not really sure. Yeah, I'm not really sure how I'm going to combat that, but I'm getting around to it. I think there are ways to do it, but I'm not sure. So, anyway, the background noise comes from my laptop. Let's see. Today I'm going to talk about how I write stuff. I mean, just show and tell effectively. I'm using Ableton 11 because Ableton 11 came out. Oh, cool. And I haven't organized anything at all. This is just making a live track in my favorite genre, which is Dub Techno. I'm kind of new at it anyway, but I like doing it. I will keep checking out the live streams from time to time. It's broadcasted on YouTube as well as Facebook, and and on Twitch as well. We're on Twitch. I just hope it works. So do let me know if you cannot hear me, or if there's any glitches, or if you have any input on the track and which direction you want it to go. Right. So without further ado, let's go. Let's see. I will start a new session. Nope. Delete. Okay. Now, the first part of any Dub Techno track is a nice, what's the word called again? Sawtooth. I use analog for that. Let's see. Yeah. Well, okay. Might be a little bit of an echo going on. I hope it's not too bad. Please do shout out if it gets irritating. Maybe if I do that. Is that any better? Anyone? Right. I think that should be better. Nice. Problem solved, because I had a crazy ass echo on the last time. Okay, getting on with this. Sawtooth. Right, this is a typical sawtooth, using analog to do that. Dropping it an octave. Another octave, right? Really low. Let's see how low that is. C1. And I've done the notes I've done is C, D sharp, G, or D flat G. That's a traditional D minor chord. Duplicate it, and I'm going to also do it again and put it there. No particular reason other than I just know that it's a nice sort of pattern. Oops. Right. Let's make this nice and plucky. And I will put in an EQ8 just to give us the low notes. And now for the magic. I'm going to do a dub delay. I'm going to hand create it. being created by hand. You know what I mean. Right. So echo. Now what I'm going to do the echo, I mean, I know there's a filter echo and there's other echoes, and they allow you to do really, really cool stuff. But I like this. I'm going to group that. Duplicate it a few times. I'm going to make that a left channel, and make that a right channel, and that one the center. I mean, there are definitely better ways of doing this, but this gives me a lot of control, and I like it because I have a lot of control. So you've seen that I've panned it left and right. The center, a little bit dubby already. The center, I'm going to remove all the bass frequencies, give it a bit of a peak around there. The feedback, crank it right up, because the further away it is, the more center I want it to go. So, see, that's just going down to the side. So it starts wide and just goes all the way down to the side. The left channel, let's have a put this to 16ths. I like them both at 16ths because then I can decide what I want to it. So that will be 3/16 and an 1/8, which is, what's an 1/8? It's 2, right? 2/8. Yeah, that's right. 2/8 is a 16. No, 2/16 is an 8. Nice, huh? And again, similar sort of thing. But I want it a bit brighter, so I'm going to leave this a bit higher as before. What I can also do is do the same for this one. What was it again? 264. 64, give or take. I mean, it's better if they're not exactly right. Just adds up a bit of character. And then what did I do? Make this triplet quarters. I'll make that an 1/8 and a triplet quarter. Oh, check that out. How's that? Ah, one thing I forgot, a bit of reverb on the center. Reverb decay. Yeah, it's a bit too harsh. I will enable the reverb on everything, so make it a bit closer on the left and right channel. So nice. And then overall on the reverb, that's high quality. This is just the default reverb that you get with when you open up Ableton. The default settings, nothing special at all. Crank that up. Nicer. Maybe a bit longer. Oh yeah. Nice. Now the dry wet needs to be sorted, so I'll add the dry wet to macro 1 on all of them. So 1. It's a bit loudish, but let's clear that in a moment. Play it. Needs a bit of movement. It's quite static, the chords. So, LFO. That there. I'm going to duplicate it because I'll use it twice with different settings. First one's not working. Weird. Try that again. Duplicate. There we have it. Slightly slower. So there. Well, I'm going to go into the oscillator, change this to sync, and map that to the ratio. Make the depth a lot lower because I don't want it to go too high. Offset. Oops, -5. You can see the ratio going up and down. If I hold a note, get rid of the echo for a moment. See how that's changing up and down? Do the same for the other one. Sync. Map the second LFO to that. Maybe do this 44 and then offset this about 36. You hear that? Two different, and for fun we can pan them left and right. No, we can't because they have. Never mind. We'll do that another time. Add unison. Unison? I hate that advert. Poor voice. Now with the echo. And yeah, that's better. I had way too much movement on that. I think this is a bit loud as well. Looks a bit better. Right, you can see by the CPU meters, that is draining my CPU like crazy. But then I'm also live streaming and running OBS in the background. So no wonder it's crying. Okay, for efficiency's sake, I will move the delay to a new return track. Then I can just pour everything into it. I mean, one day in the far future, I will get a much more powerful laptop. But for now, this is what I'll do. I'm going to switch off that reverb, and I will enable send A. So now I can send stuff A. So the output of analog goes into return C, which is this, I will call it a poly echo. And then the output of poly echo goes into A, which is just the reverb. Nice. Put down a bit. Okay, so that's your dub stab. Let's call it that. Dub stab. What else goes with dub? What else goes with dub chords? Shout out to Keith and Mark. Thank you, Mark. Very handy. Yeah, it was a real pain in the neck with the echo, but finally figured it all out. Thanks for letting me know last time. Okay, we're on with it still. Right, so we have the dub stabs. We have. I like to add a drone. Oh, dude, I like drone so much. There is a fantastic pack that's available with Ableton 11. I don't know if it's actually part of Ableton 11 or not, but dude and dudette and everyone's of all kinds. I'm an equal opportunities person here. It is amazing for drones. It is called Drone Lab. And there are a whole bunch of special effects, including generative stuff and drones and distortion and feedback and wacky, wickedy law stuff. Whole bunch of sets that you can load up. And lastly, a whole ton load of crazy drones. I mean, check that out. Whoa. Callous bass. Very cool stuff. And there is a harmonic drone generator as well to mess around with. So all it does is drone. That's it. You can choose your frequencies, you can pan them left and right, center, whatever. Tuning. Don't know what density does. Put a bit of an LFO on that, you have some really wacky stuff. It's hard to tune it. Oops, there you go. Worth playing around with. Now, what I wanted to dig out from here was the audio effect, the modulation ones, and it was the prehistoric echo. So on that, I will put another analog. It doesn't have to be analog. I choose it because it's low resourcefulness. It uses the lowest amount of resources, but I could easily do. Well, why not? Why shall I not do wavetable? Wave. Where's wavetable? Wrong place. Wrong place. There you go. Wide awake, I promise. Why is that not triggering? We see her. I think that's a bit too hardcore for the moment. Right. And that up a little. And then, so that's the amplitude envelope. I'm going to add the filter frequency to that. Down. lower. Now some unison shimmer. Nice, huh? But it's static. Now the thing about dub, especially dub in general, is that it has a lot of movement. I mean, a lot of movement. So what I will do is move the wavetable position. Going to amplitude 1. Why isn't it? Oh, there it is. Just a bit. We can't see it moving. Let me increase the rate. You see it there. So, oh, not amplitude, LFO. You hear a bit of a movement there, and I'm also going to cut off the top end of this just a bit. Like that. That gives it a little some movement, but it's not like old school. Oh yeah, that's what I was getting back to. The whole dub genre tries to recreate the old plates and reverbs and the the dub plate effects from decades ago. It wasn't perfect, and that's what I'm trying to recreate. Imperfection, and a lot of them involved a bit of detuning. So this is now LFO2. Too much detuning. It needs to be 0.1. Do you hear that? Just shifting ever so slightly. Faster. I think 0.2 would be better. Too much. One in fact. And then an EQ. Just to take the bass off of it. I'm going to add an auto filter as well, just to take off. I'll give it a touch more movement on the top end. You can see it moving up, and you will see it moving up and down a bit just in a second. See, ever so slightly. It's the top end shifting ever so slightly randomly. Well, not so randomly, but unpredictably. Sorry, phasing in and out. I'm going to add a bit of spin just to give it a wide separation. Okay, what do we have first? Let's also shift that a bit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good point. Ableton 11 stuff. Yep, I will. Let's see. Of course, yes, the hybrid audio, hybrid reverb. That's definitely the Ableton 11. I will substitute that for that. So let me put. Oh, where did it go? There it is. Hybrid reverb. Add it here. Remove the old reverb. Ableton 11 hybrid reverb. Fantastic bit of kit. Oh yeah, it's really, really cool. Hybrid reverb is a mixture of two reverbs. The convolution one, as you remember from convolution reverb if you have Ableton 10 Suite, and an algorithmic one. You can choose from dark hole, quartz, shimmer, type, and prism. So convolution reverb is all here in orange, and the algorithmic one is in a light blue. So there, and you can choose how to have them. So in serials, which means that the convolution reverb happens first, and then algorithm second. Parallel literally means both at the same time. Algorithm only. See how it's grayed out. And algorithm is available. And lastly, convolution only. Convolution has a whole bunch of default places, including the Ableton studio over in Berlin, I guess. Some other references in here. I haven't played around with it too much, but let's see how it adjusts the dubstep. Now I will do it in the series. Oh, should be 100% wet. And there's some EQ as well. I'll get rid of that. Although my CPU is stressing out just a bit. Nice. The Beer Shaver Town Hall, left and right. Early reflections. Okay, cool. Real places. Abbey Temple de Lyon. Bigny Church. Ooh, that's wide. Oh, I like that. Coupled with a dark hall. So, convolution. That's the algorithmic one only. Quartz quite hard. That's shimmer, you get that changes. See, adds an extra octave. Tides. Sounds metallic. Phasey too, very cool. Okay, let's put the convolution back in. That's pretty cool, huh? I like dark hole. Put the It's just checking my the chats. Yeah. Big cup of tea. Oh yeah, this was still going to be a track from scratch. Not gone too far. I'm in. Well, I was in C, but C is a bit too low. I'm going to shift it to F. Because let's face it, who doesn't give an F? Okay, that was really bad. Make a long drone out of that. Control. Crank it up. So I think that's okay. The release needs to be longer. Come on, where is the shortcut for it? Oh, yes, there. Oh, I forgot. Ableton 11 has a scale thing. So I'm choosing F minor, so there's F. And then, wow, a whole lot of them. Minor, Dorian, Mixolydian, the whole everything, including an 8-tone Spanish. I wonder what that's about. Rav, don't know those. There's a whole load I don't know. There's Dorian, and there's a Dorian number 4. A lot of EDM tracks are written in Dorian. Good top tip there. I will just stick to the minor. And what's really cool now is that all the notes of the F minor scale are highlighted. This way I can be confident that the notes are exactly what I want, what they should be. And that I won't slip out of scale. You know how sometimes you're trying to guess and figure it out? I mean, sure, you should know your theory. Well, you should. Good is arbitrary, but it's a good idea to learn some theory. If I hit the scale button here, boom, everything in scale. If I change the scale, say, right, B is not in the scale of F minor. If I change it to B minor, it highlights only the scale of B minor. And any notes that are not in scale are displayed as well. But I will be using F minor. This is really invaluable. The age-old trick of putting ghost notes and then shifting them off to the left putting a whole bunch of ghost notes that in the scale that you want to play in and then shifting them off to the left is no longer done. They're no longer needed. So I'm confident that this is F minor. All the notes are in F minor. Same for this drone. I will use F minor here as well, and it will be in scale. I don't have to guess anymore. That down as well, just for the drone. I think these LFOs are a bit too harsh still. And the drone needs to be dropped an octave. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. Nice bit of a drone. Delete that as well. The MIDI track. We are 40 minutes into this. I'm going to use, well, no, it is there a 606 drum rack. Yeah, good. I think the 606 sounds a bit better with dub. Right, I'll make a very simple beat. This is some other thing I can show you that's Ableton 9 specific. Of the hi-hat. Stop everything, just play the beat quickly. Okay, while that's playing, I can go back to here. Now, when everything is grouped up, you can create snapshots. So, here are some preset snapshots. Clean, boomy, lo-fi, hot. Sounds good. I could make a new variation. Well, you know what? I can hit random. Sounds a bit quieter now. Oh yeah. If I want to keep that, I can choose new. Rename. Call that nasty because it sounds nasty. Hit random again. Sounds kind of clean. I'm going to change the hi-hat a bit. Where is the hi-hat? Yeah. Because it just goes on for way too long. Get rid of the sustain. That's the open and the closed. Do the same, get rid of the sustain and bring up the decay. That's a bit low. Now, there is an extra thing in Ableton 11. You click down here, you can see chance. So this is the probability that any of these steps will hit or not. I want to highlight all of those, and these let's put them down to a probability of 80%. So that's 4/5. So every 5 attempts, 4 of them will strike, will definitely be heard. I'm going to add that one as well and put it down a bit lower, say 40%. And the others just a bit off, just so yeah, make it a bit more variable. Now listen. Do you hear that? Some of the hits are not striking. Some of the hi-hats are not striking. Let me clear it up for you. Nice, huh? You can do the same for the snare. See? So the snare is playing constantly. Now I will change the probability of the snares. So sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't. I'll put the last one down to 20%. So we have a bit of movement. Talking about movement, let me also move these off the grid. Just for a bit of what do you call it now? Swing. The swing is awesome. Although Dub Techno doesn't usually have swing in it. Let's see now. Any other questions? You let me know. You let me know. Let's see. Right, let's see how everything sounds all together now. Oh, wait, of course, the most important thing is bit of resonance right there, which is a bit piercing to my ears, but I will tweak that in a moment. Let's try this. Just a fraction. Let's magnify this a bit. That's all. Okay, so sidechain. What is sidechain? Compressor. Favorites. Yes, this is the Ableton 8 compressor. I know I should be using the 11. Yeah. Audio from the sidechain input will be the 303 606 kit, and I will choose kick. This. On bass drum and specific. Change it here. Wrong place to put it. I put it right on the drums. This needs to go on the drone. So that authentic pumping effect. Put it on the dubstep, but it may not be necessary for the dubstep because it's just a short staccato pluck. However, it would be handy on the polyecho. Without the sidechain, this is what it sounds like. Now, sidechain on the polyecho. Isn't that cool? Oh yeah. Feeling it. I'm going to save this. Save my set as new project. Yeah, 2021. That one. Today's date is the 23rd. Dub Techno, Ableton 11 and Dub Techno session. No, it's Ableton 11 track from scratch. Right. Yeah. Only about 12 minutes left to go. I don't want to take up too much of your time unless you insist. Do let me know. Right. Now for some additional. Yeah, my CPU is stressing for that 29%. Let me see if I can shut that down. Do that later. Another MIDI track. Now, if you're wondering how this pops up by itself, EQ8 and utility, quite simply put together a new track. So for example, when you add a new track, it just pops up like this. Nothing there. Drop an instrument or sample here. Yeah, may not be what you want. Maybe you always want to have an EQ8 and a utility. And you have them set like that, for instance. Don't know why, you just do. Perhaps you're the sort of individual that likes to have reverbs and delays on their individual tracks. I prefer to have them on the returns, but you know, you can add a reverb, save into delay. I want that on all my new MIDI tracks. Right click and choose on the title, right click and choose save as default MIDI track. Clicky. Yes. Now, when I do a new one, insert MIDI track, look at that. The new MIDI track has everything that I just saved as the default, just like that. I will save it as my default MIDI track. Okay, now for some percussive effects. Analog for this one. Oh wait, I've been using analog enough wavetable already. Yes, let me use operator. And I will use that. Change this to noise. I like that because you see it has a natural tail off at around 10k. Now the reason I'm going to do this is and as you go up and down the keyboard, see lower notes give quieter, have less treble in them. Higher notes, very sharp and piercing. So you have a lot more control over this if you want to make your own whooshes and swooshes and other incidental sound effects and so on. Right, so which note am I using here? Somewhere in here. It's F. Nope, it's C. I won't need the scale for this. That's right. So I'm just going to do. Right, so I'm making a chord out of this noise. The reason for that is because I'm going to use an arpeggiator. So like that. But wait, there's more. And we use pitch. MIDI pitch editor. Now this you can adjust the track. See? Octaves, it goes up and down in pitch. Okay, and as is always my favorite, an LFO. The LFO I'm going to add to pitch. Now, turn down the depth to that, offset quite low, and map it pitch. Right. Now listen to this. So this chord in operator, C, G, and C. It's going through the arpeggiator, and then pitch will shift it up by a bit. That sounds like the same note again, repeat it again and again. Throw the LFO to pitch modifier. Sounds quite rhythmic. Sidechain. Make this noise last a bit longer. Harsh. Drop that. Maybe change this to 16ths. Groovier. Yeah, neat. Just a little bit. Yeah, I think this has still too many mids in it, so I don't think using that. Transfer that. We'll use the auto filter because that just helps shape the sound first. That's about right. Now look at a movement, a spin. Take the top off. Yeah. Okay, so we've got the steps. We have the drone. A basic kit. And we have the shakers. Or white noise or shakes or ambient stuff, whatever you want to call it. Last but not least, the bass. I like to call that red for percussion, the R, blue for bass. There's no color that I know of that begins with D for drone, so I just put like green. And stabby drones is a different shade of green. Stabs are a different shade of green. And I use and I used yellow for plucks. It's just a standard that I have. But whenever I open up a new track, I can see it immediately. What each track, whenever I open a new song, I can see immediately what each track does. So let's see. Let us see. The bass. We are in F. F. Operator for me. I always do my subs in operator. Here. Let's see. Low, high. Now I like to loop it. Loop it. We do it off 1/3. Sounds faster. It should be a bit slower actually. For dub. But I add some character to it. See how on EQ8 it brings it up? I'll show you here. That's just the sub by itself. Just add a bit more level to it. You can go mad, it's up to you. That sounds nice. Now with the kick. Group those together. So that's the kick and bass. So ordinarily I would have the kick outside. This one is this one. Bass drum. Extract chain. Now when you do that, extract chain, it pulls it out of that into its own track channel. So I'll put that there, move that out of the group. Yep, make it red as well. Kick. I hope that will follow it. So that's all my. Oh, it is already good. Very handy. Already. Now I can turn down the volume of the core kit. I just felt it a bit loud. Yeah, the snare, the hi-hats are a bit loud. Let's see if I can make the snare a bit louder still. Kick. Yeah, okay, good. Here's the kick. The point of that is that I can add a glue compressor to the kick and the bass. Turn down the threshold until it starts triggering. Soft, just in case it ever clips. Not clipping. See, that's just too much. Now, if you want this clicky, you turn up the attack. So it takes 30 milliseconds to react. So then the top transient, captures that. Turn it down. Sounds really flat. Compression ratio 10 is a bit too squashed. And you can put the auto setting for, so on the release. You can put it automatically or highly reactive at 0.1 of a millisecond, and it's best when there's a regular beat, so then Ableton can determine what the heck's going on. Of course, a makeup range. 6. It's ever so subtle, but it's a bit more tighter like this than without. Oh yeah, it's a lot louder too. So -5. Oops, 5. That's about right. Now everything together. Sounds a bit dry, the kit. Reverb. Right, I think we covered many of the things, so I was just going to add one more. Just one more detail. Yeah, the detail that I'll add is quite simply oh right, yes, a call and respond. So we have all these things. We have the main dubstep. But that seems to be about it. I mean, melodically, not much else. We have a drone. Yeah, drone. Got the bass. There's nothing answering it. So we've got this stabby thing, but there's nothing answering it. So I'm going to put a call and respond effort. So let us see where these chord stabs are coming in. So there are on the first 2 notes of the bar and somewhere in beat 3. Okay, so I'm going to do response in 2 and 4. What am I going to respond with? How about I will go for analog. Analog. Here we go. I'm having a sign. Oops. That's the one. Reduce this a bit. Okay, so I will have the noise filter, put the amplitude on the noise. Why is that not working? Oh yeah, the quick routing. That one. That shouldn't be sustaining. Why is that sustaining? Weird, very weird. That's better. Good. Make that a bandpass. Bandpass the oops, sorry. Yeah, the users. Not. Yeah, I was looking for a bandpass. Why didn't that work? Oh, it is working. Like a muted piano. Duplicate that all. And then again with the pitch from the shakers and the LFO. Oop. Duplicate that. Put that over on here. And you'll see why in a moment, because I'm going to add pitch. MIDI effect pitch. I can just double click on that. Map this to this and jump up and down by plus or minus 6, and I don't. I want it to go this. Yeah. Reduce the rate. So you should see going up and down by an octave. 0 semitones, 12 semitones. There you go. When I played this melody, I'll switch off the pitch. This is what it sounds like. Quite repetitive, huh? A little bit boring. Let me add the pitch shift. The octave upper or downer thingy pitch, I call it. Too much in time. Increase the rate. Neat, huh? One last thing for MIDI is the scale. Minor pentatonic I'll choose to keep the notes in set. We put this in F. Because then you can change this from a square to a sine. See how it's going up and down the notes? But doing it much faster, so the notes are a bit more random and in pitch. But also, it's semi-rhythmical, because eventually this rate will go back into phase and in line with the beats or the bar endings, and it'll repeat. It'll be pseudo-random. So sometimes it's going to be out of time, and the pitch will be unexpected. because you're like, oh, I shouldn't expect it to jump up, down, or left or right or whatever. But it kind of repeats in a vague, familiar way, but not too often. Let's put it all together with the dubstep. And smooth it out a bit more. Now the kick. And that's how we have it. Not a full track, an 8-bar loop. Actually, it's like a 1-bar loop, but still how it's evolved. And I hope you have learned a whole bunch of things from that. I have overshot. I expected it to be just an hour. But, I was having too much fun. Actually, it was a lot of fun. I'm so gonna do this again and show you any other bits and pieces that I learned. I will focus next time more on the Ableton 11 funky groovy features. I'm still reading through all the literature just to get a better understanding and comprehension of it, but there is quite a lot of cool stuff. Question is, should you upgrade from 10 to 11? Yeah, do it. Do it real good. A lot more just polished overall. Yeah, the new features, comping, oh, that's a big one. I'm still trying to get my head around that. The hybrid reverb, nice, like mega nice. I haven't messed around with a loop pitch 89. There's that drone pack that I just showed you that only seems to be in Ableton 11 exclusive. I've not seen it for 10. There are some amazing stuff coming up. I dare say that 11 is a very nice addition. Yeah, it is indeed. Okay, I will save this. Save live set. And I shall bid you a good night. And I hope you had a lot of fun. Please drop a comment. Do let me know if there's anything else I can work on. And I do hope you had a good evening and a good night. Take care. Bye-bye.